Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Chiller. Today we're talking about the top 4 most valuable one-dime coins from the United States that are worth millions of dollars. Some of these tiny coins are so rare that collectors pay a fortune just to own one. Imagine finding a small silver dime in your collection that could change your life forever. These valuable dimes have sold for over $1 million at auctions because of their rarity, mint marks, and perfect condition. First up, the 1984 P dime was minted in Philadelphia and carries the P mint mark right next to the date on the obverse, beside Franklin D. Roosevelt's neck. This coin is made of a copper-nickel clad composition with a pure copper core, weighing about 2.27 grams and measuring 17.9 millimeters in diameter. While millions of these dimes were produced for circulation, only a small number have unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Now, what makes some 1984 P dimes worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? It all comes down to mint errors, die varieties, and pristine conditions. Collectors always look for coins that have been struck off center, have double dies, missing mint marks, or show full bands on the torch on the reverse side. The full bands designation is especially important because it means the horizontal bands on the torch are completely separated and sharply struck, a sign of a perfectly made coin with exceptional detail. Such coins can fetch premium prices in auctions and collector markets. In the coin market, condition is everything. Most circulated 1984 P dimes are worth only their face value of 10 cents. However, in uncirculated mint state condition, especially graded MS65 or higher, their value can rise dramatically. A 1984 P dime with superb luster, strong strike, and no scratches can be valued between $50 and $500 depending on market demand and rarity. But some rare examples with dramatic minting errors have been sold for several $1,000s, proving that even a common dime can turn into a small fortune in the right condition. Let's talk about the design. The obverse features the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinnott. Above his head is the word Liberty, and below the neck is the motto "In God We Trust." The date 1984 is clearly visible, along with the mint mark P. On the reverse, we see the torch in the center, representing liberty, with an olive branch to the left symbolizing peace and an oak branch to the right representing strength and independence. The inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime complete this classic American design that has remained iconic for decades. Collectors often look for 1984 P dimes in original mint sets or rolls that were stored safely since the 1980s. These coins are more likely to be in pristine, uncirculated condition with sharp details and strong luster. If you have a 1984 dime with the P mint mark, it's worth examining under magnification. Especially check for doubling on the lettering, die cracks, misaligned strikes, or any other unique features. Even the slightest variation can make it a highly sought-after piece among numismatists. It's also fascinating to note that the 1984 P dime was produced during a time when minting technology was improving, but quality control issues still allowed for interesting errors to slip through. Examples include clipped planchets, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong metal blanks. These minting mistakes are extremely collectible and can elevate the value of a coin far beyond its original face value. For investors and collectors alike, the 1984 P dime represents more than just 10 cents. It's a small piece of history that connects to the legacy of Roosevelt's leadership and America's coinage tradition. Whether you find one in your pocket change or inherit it in a collection, it's always worth inspecting closely, because you never know when a common-looking dime might turn out to be a rare treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Next up, the 1989 P dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is indicated by the small letter P on the obverse, right next to the date. It's part of the Roosevelt dime series, first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. By 1989, the dime had already been circulating for over 4 decades, and it continued to serve as one of the most used coins in everyday American life. Each 1989 P dime is composed of a copper-nickel clad, which means it has a pure copper core with an outer layer made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Its weight is 2.27 grams and it measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter. Even though it's small, the design carries great historical and artistic significance. On the obverse, you'll find the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinnott, with the word Liberty on the left, the motto "In God We Trust" below, and the date 1989 along with the P mint mark on the right. The reverse design shows a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength, 3 of America's core values. Now, while most 1989p dimes are only worth their face value of 10 cents in circulation, there are certain factors that can make them much more valuable. The key elements to watch for include condition, strike quality, and rare mint errors. Let's start with condition. A 1989p dime in average circulated condition isn't rare. Billions were minted, but uncirculated and high-grade examples can fetch impressive prices. Collectors often grade coins using the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A mint state 65 or higher dime from 1989p can be worth several dollars or more depending on its luster, strike, and lack of marks. A perfectly preserved MS-68 example can sell for well over $100 at auction. But where things get really exciting is with error coins. Errors occur when something goes wrong during the minting process, and some of these mistakes make coins incredibly rare and valuable. For the 1989p dime, collectors have reported a few interesting varieties, including off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and missing letters or partial designs. A 1989p dime with an off-center strike showing 10 to 20% of the blank planchette can be worth between $50 and $200. More dramatic off-centers or double-struck examples can go much higher. Another highly sought-after variety is the double die error, where parts of the design, like the word liberty or in God we trust, appear slightly doubled. These can be subtle, so examining your dime with a magnifying glass or microscope is important. A clear and bold doubling can raise the value into the hundreds, depending on demand. Clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a blank cutting mistake, are also quite collectible. A nicely shaped curved clip on a 1989p dime can bring $50 or more. Sometimes, you might even find die cracks or cut errors, where extra metal appears raised on the surface. These unique minting flaws can easily turn an ordinary dime into a small treasure. Beyond errors, the proof and special strike versions are worth mentioning. Although the 1989 proof dimes were struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark, collectors sometimes confuse them with Philadelphia coins. Proof coins have a mirror-like finish and were never meant for circulation, so if you come across a 1989 dime that looks extremely shiny with frosted details, check carefully. It could be a proof coin, which carries collector value even if it's not from Philadelphia. Another key point to remember is toning. Over time, some copper-nickel dimes develop colorful surfaces, shades of blue, purple, or gold. Beautiful, naturally toned 1989p dimes can attract collectors and sell for a premium. Artificial toning doesn't add value, but genuine rainbow toning is often seen as art by coin enthusiasts. If you're coin roll hunting or checking your change, always inspect every dime closely. Many rare finds are discovered in everyday circulation. Use a magnifier and good lighting, and look at both sides carefully for doubling, missing designs, or unusual edges. Even a small difference can make a big impact on value. When storing your coins, use protective holders to prevent scratches and damage. Avoid cleaning your coins. Cleaning can actually reduce their value by removing natural luster. Keep them dry and away from humidity, which can cause corrosion or spotting on the surface. Collectors also care about mint sets and original rolls from 1989. Unopened rolls of 1989p dimes, especially in pristine condition, can be valuable to serious numismatists because they offer the chance to find untouched gems or rare errors. Let's talk about actual values recorded in the coin market. A 1989p dime in high mint state condition has been auctioned for more than $250, depending on grade and visual appeal. Exceptional error coins have even fetched several $100s. While the typical example may only be worth 10 cents, the rarest ones can be worth hundreds of times their face value, proving that even small change can hide big rewards. The 1989p dime reminds us that numismatics isn't just about money, it's about history, art, and discovery. Every coin tells a story of the era it was minted in, the people who used it, and the craftsmanship of the US Mint. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, examining coins like the 1989p dime helps you sharpen your eye for detail and understand the beauty of everyday currency. So the next time you get a dime in your change, don't overlook it. That small 1989p dime could be a hidden gem with a story worth telling, and maybe even a value that surprises you. Next up in this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1990D dime coin from the United States. One small coin that has captured the attention of collectors, enthusiasts, and treasure hunters all across the country. At first glance, the 1990D dime might look like just another everyday coin you'd find in your pocket change. But hidden within this little piece of metal are incredible stories, interesting minting details, and even the potential for surprising value. So stay with me till the end, because you might just discover that the dime sitting in your wallet or coin jar could be worth more than you think. The 1990D dime was minted at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small D mint mark on the right side of the coin, near the base of the torch. Like all Roosevelt dimes, this coin carries the familiar design we've seen for decades, the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, and the torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch on the reverse. But even though the design seems ordinary, the 1990D dime holds its own charm and history in the world of US coinage. Let's start by understanding what makes the 1990D dime special. In 1990, millions of dimes were produced at the Denver Mint, over 1 billion, in fact. But among those billions, there are certain coins that stand out due to minting errors, condition, and collector demand. The standard 1990D dime is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, and weighs about 2.27 grams. It has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and like all Roosevelt dimes, it features reeded edges. Now, the real excitement comes when we talk about the variations and errors that can make some 1990D dimes far more valuable than their face value of just 10 cents. There have been reports of off-center strikes, double dies, missing mint marks, and other minting anomalies that have caught the eyes of collectors. These are the kinds of coins that can turn a simple dime into a small treasure. If you have a 1990D dime, the first thing to check is the condition. Coin collectors use the Sheldon scale to grade coins, ranging from poor to mint state. A coin in average circulated condition might only be worth its face value. But an uncirculated or mint state 1990D dime, especially one graded MS65 or higher, can attract interest from collectors who value pristine examples of classic US coinage. Now let's imagine you find a 1990D dime that looks especially sharp, bright luster, clean surfaces, and crisp details. If it's in that kind of condition, it's worth holding on to. Coins that have been carefully preserved since the day they were minted often carry premiums because so few survive without scratches, nicks, or wear. And the higher the grade, the greater the value. But grading isn't the only factor. Error coins are where things get really interesting. Some of the most valuable 1990D dimes are those with striking mistakes that occurred during the minting process. For example, an off-center strike can happen when the coin blank isn't properly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing. These errors can range from minor misalignments to dramatic off-centers that make the coin instantly recognizable and collectible. Another fascinating possibility is a double die error, when the die used to strike the coin has been engraved twice slightly out of alignment, resulting in doubled lettering or numbers. If you notice doubling on the date, mint mark, or the word Liberty, you could be looking at something worth far more than 10 cents. Collectors love these because each one is unique. No two double dies look exactly alike. Then there's the possibility of missing elements. Although rare for the 1990D dime, a missing mint mark or partial design due to grease-filled dies can occur. A dime without its D mint mark, for instance, can be highly collectible if it's verified as an authentic mint error. Let's talk a bit about the design itself. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt shortly after his passing. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II left a lasting legacy, and the dime became a symbol of his dedication to the March of Dimes campaign against polio. That's why this coin carries so much history. It's not just currency, it's a piece of American heritage. Over the decades, the design has changed very little, which is part of its appeal to collectors. The consistency of the design makes it easier to spot small differences, errors, or unique features that might set one year apart from another. That's why people are so fascinated with certain mint years like the 1990D dime. It's part of the larger story of Roosevelt dimes that spans generations. Now, if you're someone who loves to search through pocket change, coin rolls, or even old collections from family members, the 1990D dime is a coin worth looking out for. While most of them will only be worth face value, that small chance of finding an error or high-grade coin keeps the hunt exciting. Imagine finding a 1990D dime that was struck off-center, or one that shines like the day it left the mint. Those discoveries have thrilled collectors for decades. And with today's growing interest in coin collecting and treasure hunting, even a small coin like the dime can become a big story on social media and in collector circles. There have even been cases where rare dime errors sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions, depending on rarity, condition, and demand. While the 1990D dime isn't known for extreme rarity in general, it remains a beloved part of the Roosevelt dime series that serious numismatists always keep an eye on. If you're inspecting your coins, Here's what to do. Under good lighting, use a magnifying glass to look at the date, mint mark, and edges. Check for doubling, weak strikes, or misalignments. Examine both sides carefully, as some errors can appear on the reverse side, especially around the torch or the branches. Keep your coin clean, but never try to polish it, because cleaning can reduce its value significantly. Another tip is to store your 1990D dimes properly if you think they might have collector value. Use coin holders, capsules, or soft flips that protect them from scratches and air exposure. Even small bits of damage can affect the coin's grade and potential worth over time. Beyond the potential monetary value, collecting coins like the 1990D dime connects you to history. Every coin tells a story, from the design choices to the metal composition to the millions of hands it might have passed through. It's a small piece of American culture that has survived inflation, design changes, and technological progress. So when you look at a dime, remember it's not just 10 cents, it's a piece of art and history combined. The 1990D dime represents a year in time, a minting tradition, and a chance to discover something hidden in plain sight. Collectors love to say, you never know what you'll find in your change, and that's absolutely true. Whether it's a simple coin or a rare mint error, the thrill of the search is what keeps the passion alive. Now we will explore the 1991p Roosevelt dime from the United States is one of the fascinating coins every collector should know about. Minted in Philadelphia, this dime carries history, value, and beauty all in one small piece of metal. If you have a 1991 dime in your change or coin collection, don't overlook it. Some of these coins can be worth far more than 10 cents depending on condition, mint errors, and rarity. Let's explore every detail about the 1991p dime, from its design and composition to its collectible value and the reasons why certain examples are sought after by numismatists across the country. The 1991p dime belongs to the Roosevelt dime series that started in 1946, honoring Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. The obverse side of the coin shows Roosevelt's profile facing left, designed by John R. Sinnock, with the word Liberty on the left edge, In God We Trust beneath the chin, and the date 1991 below. Just above the date is the small letter P, representing the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse side shows a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength. Surrounding these symbols are the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime. The 1991p dime was struck in copper-nickel clad composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel over pure copper core. Each dime weighs 2.27 grams and measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter. More than 1 billion 1991p dimes were produced, making it a common circulation coin. However, within this large mintage are rare pieces with errors, exceptional strikes, and unique conditions that make them valuable. Collectors always look for high-grade examples graded as mint state or proof-like. A perfect 1991p dime in MS68 condition or higher can be worth significantly more than face value. Even though most 1991p dimes are common, coins that have been preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition with full torch details are highly prized. The full torch or foot designation refers to sharply struck examples showing complete vertical lines on the torch on the reverse side. These full torch dimes often command premium prices in the coin market. Now, let's talk about mint errors that make certain 1991p dimes stand out. Some of the most valuable errors include off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and missing clad layer errors. A 1991p dime with an off-center strike can fetch anywhere from $50 to over $200 depending on how dramatic the error appears. Double die obverse or reverse dimes show doubling on letters, numbers, or design features, especially visible on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. These errors are rare but when found, they can make your dime worth hundreds. Missing clad layer errors reveal a copper-colored surface where the nickel layer didn't bond correctly. Such dimes are striking in appearance and very collectible. Another key factor is condition. Coins that circulated heavily usually show wear on Roosevelt's hair, cheek, and the lettering. These worn examples are generally worth face value. But if your 1991p dime looks shiny with no visible wear and has sharp details, it's worth inspecting more closely. Sometimes, a simple coin from pocket change can turn into a treasure if it's a rare error or an exceptionally well-struck specimen. Many collectors check their coins using magnifying lenses or coin microscopes to spot these small details that can mean a big difference in value. In coin collecting, even the slightest variation can impact value. Coins graded by professional services as MS-67 or MS-68 with full torch details have sold for impressive prices at auctions. A pristine 1991p dime in top grade could be worth several $100s or even more if it's a standout piece. The higher the grade, the fewer marks, scratches, or blemishes it has, and the more collectors compete for it. Besides condition and errors, provenance and toning can also influence a coin's desirability. Some 1991p dimes naturally developed attractive rainbow toning due to oxidation over the years. When toning is even and colorful, collectors may pay a premium for its beauty. However, artificial toning or cleaning can decrease value, so it's always best to keep coins in their original state. Let's explore the historical context. The year 1991 marked the 45th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime series. Since 1965, all dimes have been minted without silver, switching to copper-nickel composition because of rising silver prices. Although the 1991p dime doesn't contain silver, it still represents a continuation of America's modern coinage tradition and everyday design heritage. Every dime that passes through our hands tells part of the economic story of the nation, how money evolves, circulates, and connects generations. For coin enthusiasts, the 1991p dime offers an affordable entry point into collecting. Beginners can easily start by searching through their pocket change, coin rolls, or bank boxes. Roll searching is a popular hobby where collectors buy rolls of dimes and examine them for older or unusual pieces. You never know when you might find a coin with an off-center strike or a double die error. Even though this dime is common, its historical value and potential hidden rarity make it exciting to collect. It's small, but it's part of a series that honors one of the most influential leaders in American history. Roosevelt's image has appeared on the dime for decades because of his strong connection to the March of Dimes, an organization he supported to fight polio. This adds emotional and historical depth to every Roosevelt dime, including the 1991p issue. Collectors should store their 1991p dimes properly to maintain condition and prevent damage. Using protective holders, coin flips, or albums helps avoid scratches, fingerprints, and oxidation. Always handle coins by the edges and avoid cleaning them, as cleaning can significantly reduce their value. Proper preservation keeps their surfaces original and enhances their collectible appeal. When buying or selling coins, it's wise to research recent auction results and coin market trends. The coin market changes constantly based on collector demand, rarity discoveries, and general economic conditions. A 1991p dime that may have been worth only a few dollars years ago could now bring higher bids if it's an exceptional specimen. Keeping track of numismatic updates ensures collectors don't miss valuable opportunities. If you ever come across a 1991p dime with sharp details, full torch lines, or an unusual mint error, set it aside. Check its features carefully under good lighting and compare it to regular examples. Sometimes, these small differences, like a slight doubling, partial missing layer, or broad strike, can make a huge impact in value. Rare mint errors and high-grade examples have been known to sell for remarkable prices at coin auctions and collector shows.